Okay, listen. If no one else on the internet has the balls to say this, then I'll be the one to say it. I mean, I'll just come right out and say it, you know, because I don't care if anybody else says it. I'm gonna come out and say it. X-Men: Days of Future Past kicked fucking ass. X-Men: Days of Future Past kicked fucking ass. It was a great film. Now, a lot of questions that a lot of people are asking, did it fix all the continuity problems from the previous X-Men films? And not really. It did, but it didn't fix everything. Now, right now, the way I see this film is the only X-Men title that's still in continuity is X-Men First Class and X-Men 1 and partially X-Men Origins. Okay, X-Men 2 is officially erased, X-Men 3 is officially erased, and the Wolverine, the latest one, is officially erased. Because at the end of this film, none of that happens. And I'm just going to let you guys know there is spoilers in this video, so if you have not seen the movie yet, go ahead and pause this video, click out, and go see the movie, and then come back. At the end of this movie, Jean Grey is alive, Cyclops is alive, Rogue, all these characters are back in the Xavier School. So, right away, with Cyclops being alive and Jean Grey being alive, X-Men 3 is completely out the window. X-Men 3 never happened. X-Men 2, Andrew want to argue with me about this, saying X-Men 2 is still continuity. Not really if you think about it. If you sit there and think about this movie, you got to think a lot about timelines, and it's kind of complicated. And I sat down, I kind of broke down the timeline for Star Trek Into Darkness. I want to kind of do that for this one too. But if Jean Grey is in fact at the Xavier School, then that means that she never died at what was the name of that lake? Whatever that lake was in X-Men 2. She never sacrificed herself to get everybody else. So that event never took place. Now, you could argue the fact that maybe it did take place, but she survived it somehow. However, you're now adding stuff to the continuity instead of taking away the continuity. It's much easier to say that just never took place, so Jean Grey is still there. So, in my book, in my opinion, X-Men 3, X-Men 2 is officially gone. Now, the Wolverine is officially gone. And again, I argue this point with Andrew. The reason why the Wolverine is officially gone is because the Wolverine was a sequel to X-Men 3. If you have no X-Men 3, you can't have a sequel to X-Men 3. It's just plain fucking simple. It's not rocket science. If you don't have a movie, you can't officially have a sequel to that movie. So, X-Men 3 and X-Men or the Wolverine is officially out of continuity. There's no debate in that. That is officially out of continuity now. You can say that X-Men 2 is in continuity. Take away that part of where she died. Very possible. Okay, the littlest chain of event from the past could trigger a chain reaction, and maybe that event out at the lake did not happen. Very possible. That's why Jean Grey is still alive. So you can still say X-Men 2 is... I know why people would want to, because X-Men 2 is a fantastic movie, but the way I see it, at a logical point of view, looking at the end of this movie and looking at the events that transpire through this movie, X-Men 2 has got to be erased too. It has to be, because all sense of purpose, Jean Grey did die at the end of that movie. Okay, that's what happened at the end of X-Men 2. So, it is what it is. X-Men 1 still stays in continuity because X-Men 1 is when Rogue and Wolverine met and they went through the school and everything. So, that's still continuity because at the end of Days of Future Past, they are there. If they weren't there, then that wouldn't be in continuity. But they are there, so that movie is in continuity. First Class is still in continuity because this movie takes place like 10 years after First Class. So First Class is still in continuity. Now, Origin is partly in continuity because the way William Stryker gets Wolverine in that movie was erased. Okay, because of events in this movie. because at the end of this, or at the end of the Days of Future Past events, Stryker gets and captures Wolverine a different way. So that automatically erases that continuity, which means the Deadpool crap never happened. However, this is the problem. Days of Future Past takes place right as Vietnam War is ending, where Origins, there's scenes in Origins where the Wolverine and Sabretooth were in the Vietnam War. And that's when they were first recruited to Stryker's group. So, the thing is here is, how could Wolverine be in New York, or wherever he was, when he zaps into his younger self, when he was supposed to be in Stryker's group? Okay, so this pulls out a bunch of headaches here. So, you're going to look at it this way. There was a point where Wolverine left that group, left Stryker's group in Origins. This could be a place he stopped at before, he went and did the rest of that movie. But regardless of that, from that point of events where the Vietnam War is in Origins onwards has all been erased. Only that beginning part of Origins is still in continuity. So you got the beginning part of Origins, which is in continuity, and then you got First Class, which is in continuity, and then you have Days of Future Past and X-Men. So, I rambled a shitload on just that, which I should have done a separate video on that. And everybody's probably like, what the fuck did this fat bitch just say? So, regardless, let me get into this movie. They fixed a lot of problems. I went in this movie with high expectations, really high expectations. Came out very, very excited, enjoyed it. Had a fun time. Like, honestly, I want to go see it again right now if I could. But unfortunately, I only got 4 hours sleep yesterday because I had to go to work last night. So I only got 4 hours sleep because I wanted to go see this film. And I'm not going to have a chance to go see this film again until Tuesday. I love The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And I think this movie surpasses Amazing Spider-Man 2 tremendously. Because it just, everything about this movie. You had the action, the great storytelling. The fact that our characters that we love, like Cyclops, Jean, Rogue, all of them come back to us. The fact that they fixed these major gripes that we had, like why was Hank Pym, human, not in his beast form and stuff like that, and they just fixed a whole bunch of different things that really got on people's nerves. But now you can go back and watch these movies and know that everything has been fixed. It feels good. You can watch X-Men 3 because it don't count no more. So, I mean, it just is what it is. Great film. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I thought the acting from the whole cast, James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, Patrick Stewart, I mean, the whole fucking cast was just phenomenal. I have a couple nitpicks, but I'm like really scraping on the bottom. I'm not even going to mention them. That's how little they are. But, yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it. This movie's getting great reviews. I think it deserves it. It's definitely the top film I have this year. Blows Godzilla out of the water. But, I mean, if you have any questions on the timeline, you can send me messages. I'll try to, maybe I'll even do an X-Men Days of Future Past Q&A like I did with Amazing Spider-Man 2. And try to clear some stuff up. There is a couple things that kind of scratched my head, like how Kitty was able to send Wolverine into the past. One thing I still don't understand was how the hell Professor X was still alive at the beginning of this movie. Okay, we know he died in X-Men 3, and then at the end of that, we know he did, zapped his mind into the mindless corpse. Okay, because we see it at the end credits. And then at the end of the Wolverine, we see him back, and even Wolverine was like, how is this possible? So what I'm wondering is, how is that? Now, there's speculations that one of my friends said, well, it's very easy for him to make other people, with his powers, make other people think that he looks the same. That's very true. That could be very possible. I felt that would take a lot of his energy, and I don't know if he would be able to pull that off all the time. Then there's also rumors that he had a twin brother, which I find is bullshit because they never mentioned it. So, I mean, I don't know. There is, I wouldn't say plot holes, but there is stuff that doesn't connect too well. I mean, I guess you kind of got to call them plot holes because I really don't understand how some of this shit really happened. But, I mean, it was a fantastic movie. They fixed a lot of fucking problems. It's hard to go back and take a movie that deals with time travel and try to fix a previous films. It's kind of hard to do that. There's some issues, yes, but nothing that makes me pissed off. It was a great film. Maybe I'll understand more when I go see it the second and third, maybe fourth time. But yeah, the Charles Xavier thing kind of bothers me. The Kitty being able to zap people into the past, because that's not really Kitty's power, that kind of baffles me, but I kind of figure out where they can do that. I can kind of grasp the concept of it. There was a couple other things that just kind of, I can't think of it off the top of my head. There was a couple, they're more like questions I have rather than problems with the movie. It's just questions I have. But overall, I thought the movie was fantastic. I think if everybody watches it, you'll enjoy it. It's a great movie. Best X-Men movie so far. Love the movie. Can't wait to go see it a couple more times. Until next time, guys, I'm Stormzy. That's my opinion.